Hey, it's Jenny. I'm back to share with you how I planned throughout the week. These are the Cocoa Daisy Minimalist inserts, and I am using the Happy Planner Year to Shine sticker book. I actually have two of these, which I'm not a big rebuyer of things. Like, I don't usually buy multiples, but I absolutely loved this collection of stickers, if you will. And even when there was the Be Happy box, anybody else get the Be Happy box at the very beginning of this collection? I just love these colors. So we're going to start over here on the right hand side. And I wanted to put the big box down, and I also wanted to have it pair with the decorative elements as well. So obviously I'll use the little box for writing in, but then I wanted to create a cluster out of it. So that's where I added the text and then the little sort of, we're going to call them dots or spots or whatever. I think they're so clever and so cute. And I know that they're a couple of years ago now, like design wise, but I just still really like them. Now we're going to start a second cluster over on the left hand side with this little happy sticker. If you've been here for a minute, you know that I don't love adding multiple clusters of words. So like if I was going to have a word sticker, I'd want there to be like one, but sometimes I just can't help it because there aren't that many just patterns. So now I've brought the dots back over to this other side of the paper and then also used that little banner sticker as well. And again, I know it has dots too, or words, but it's just really difficult. Now these flowers, I think they're so pretty, and I wanted them to face the way that they are, like they're coming together, kind of like sunflowers do, how they'll face each other. I know it doesn't really look like they're facing each other, but I liked with the leaves facing each other, it gave me sort of that overall impression. Now, I'm starting to add the boxes for different activities, and I really wanted to add a circle element, so I put that big one right there. That will be able to hold a lot of information because there's definitely a lot of room right there. And then I'm going to sort of overlap this focus sticker also. Now I will go ahead and add the information for this one. I was a little torn about this sticker, if you want to know the truth, because it has even more of the spots on there. And so it's definitely a third element, which that part is great because we love to keep it in clusters of 3, but I also worried about overdoing it for the week. So that's why definitely just keeping it with the 3. That strip up at the top, that box, and then over on the right hand side. Now that mild liner is a pretty close match for the colors in the stickers, that aqua color. It's not completely a match. The highlighter is a little bit more neon, like just a touch than just solid aqua, but you really only notice that when you're putting it up against actual aqua like these stickers. But I can live with it because it's a pretty solid match. Now I'm alternating between writing directly on boxes and then also just writing directly on the page. I like the variation. I like that it is keeping it a little bit more creative. I like that it is sort of alternating, keeping my eye moving around the page. And it keeps it interesting as well. Because I don't often use the same elements over and over, or I'm not this week, as a matter of fact. I think it looks really great. So now you can see I have written flight information in that big circle, and it worked out wonderfully since the circle was so big. It would have been a great sticker for completely layering too, like putting another full box over it in some way, because it's just really that large. It's kind of an anomaly for circle stickers in the Happy Planner books. They're really usually not quite this large. Now I'm able to also use that box that I put down on Saturday for flight information as well, since the writing area was quite big. One of the things that I found that I really am enjoying about writing the 2 lines, the one above and the one below the plans, like I just did there with the mild liner, is that it really allows me to take as much space as I need. So you put a sticker down, you have to kind of figure out how to make it fit. You draw the box beforehand, Again, you have to kind of figure out how to put the text and to make it fit. But with these, you don't have to do that. I draw the first line and then I start writing. And then when I'm finished, I can fill in the second line. And it really just makes it so easy to make the box, if you will, fit my needs versus vice versa. Now, I used the navy blue stickers from the Carpe Diem sticker book for the dates. I say it every single week I use these stickers. I know, but I love that sticker book. It's just absolutely awesome. I only wish all of the stickers were circles because they're so much easier to use than some of the die cut stickers. And that's really probably just a me problem, probably not a problem with the book. Now, I had been thinking that it would have been nice if I also had a navy blue marker like these to draw the lines with, because then there could have been some altering of the colors, but I don't have that. So instead I'm using the Zig Clean Color dot marker as just to make the icons. Now, this was a week that actually a large portion of the week I was on vacation. So I wanted to make sure that I notated the activities we did in my planner for future memory keeping, so for scrapbook pages and things like that. And so simply creating bullet points really worked well. Like I was able to just write the very basics, and I am hoping that in the photos will jog my memory enough. I think it's going to be a great tool. I think that just standard planning can really help with documenting trips and vacations and things like that. I know it helps me document my everyday life, so I'm hopeful that it's the same with traveling. All right, so now let's stamp. We've got a lot of things down already, and I wanted to make this week a little bit inky. So I am using these Everyday Explorer stamps. I will link them up below if they're still available, and then my Stamp Market ink cubes. I love these ink cubes. I tell you about them all the time, but one of the reasons that I really like them is because of their size. They're easy to store, and then second of all, they're inexpensive. It's like $4 for a really high quality ink pad versus having to spend 8 or 10 on an ink pad. And so between the cost and the ease of storing, I am a huge fan. I love their ink pads. They don't bleed through for me in any of my projects, except for there is some heavy shadowing in my Hobonichi, but that's really to be expected, to be perfectly honest. All right, so now we're going to stamp again. And again, I am using the navy blue ink because I don't have a great aqua ink. I mean, I do have one that probably would have worked, but as we already talked about, I don't have a mild liner that's navy blue. And so this is perfect. I can stamp with navy and then use the aqua mild liner, and I get that perfect balance. Now here I'm putting two stamps together, today's story, and I love that they're in two parts because I can make it fit in the space that I have versus, okay, this is the stamp, it's all together and I've got to see if it will fit. No, I'm able to make it fit and work for me, and I love that. I'm also a few months into using these Sharpie fine tip pens. They're felt pens. And I find that they really are working well for me. So if you have larger handwriting like I do, and perhaps you like the Papermate Flare, but it just takes up too much space, you might give the Sharpie pens a try, the felt tip ones. I find that they really are working quite well for me, and I'm getting closer to needing to buy a second box of 12, but I really am enjoying them a lot. And there are so many stamp sets out there that are wonderful for memory planning and planning in general when you want to add a little creative flair. I've only used a couple of these Everyday Explorer ones so far, and they're just magnificent. I love it. Now we've got a third one, which is a travel set. And so I'm going to stamp some of those over here because there is a second trip and I had a little bit more white space because there just wasn't a lot of things to document in my planner. You know, we've talked about this before, right? Like when I'm super busy, I don't have as many things in my planner because there aren't as many lists and to-dos and things like that. So now I'm going to, this is a brand new stamp set, by the way, which is why you're seeing me prime them by rubbing them on the back of my hand. Somebody has asked me before, like if I prime them every single time that I use them, which it's not necessary, but I often do because it's sort of just a habit. And I haven't worked on breaking that habit because it's not a bad habit. It doesn't hurt anything to prime the stamps. So I will often do that even if I've used the stamp 10 times before. Look at how cute they are and how perfect they are working for this layout. I think they just give it a little bit more of that modern flair that sort of the stickers have already started, and this color palette is just incredibly beautiful. Now again, I'm still just including things that we did on these trips. It was just basically like Friday, for example, was just a big like touring day. And then my son and my husband went to a baseball game, and I did not go, but I still included it in my planner, and I wanted to put both of theirs there. So I did. Now this stamp set you are going to see a ton of. So I'm going to tell you that right now. It is a brand new Everyday Explorers, and I think it's called a Quick Note. It is so many clever boxes that are perfect for memory keeping, for planning, for basically everything, and I'm sort of obsessed with it. I'm not gonna lie. It's really that good. So I will, just like the rest of them, link them up below. That's it for me. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it, and have a great day.